two niggas spoiling movies. Yeah. Brandon Collins, that's me, and Justin Brown for your movie needs. Medium popcorn. Woo! You haven't seen it, well, we're gonna spoil it. Spoil it in your face. That's your warning. So if you get pissed, it's all your fault. Woo-hoo. Woo-hoo. Merry Christmas and happy holidays, little biscuits and sun-dried tomatoes. It's your boy Eddie Collins.
Guys, this is Justin Brown.
And we are Medium Popcorn. What?
Oh, hello.
What are you saying? Say it one more time.
A stroke. Holla, holla.
Oh, you're saying the holla, holla. Okay, got it. Oh, boy. Well, folks, that we're kicking it off on that note, I guess. And we are talking about the VH1 2022 movie, All I Didn't Want for Christmas, starring Kel Mitchell and Oscar nominee Gabrielle Sibier from Precious.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, lordy. Who? Okay, first of all, it was a chore finding this fucking movie.
Yeah.
I had to sign up for VH1 24-hour trial to be able to watch this thing, and the commercials were 5 minutes each break. Yeah. So this was an hour and 22-minute movie that turned to nearly 2.5 hours. I was furious halfway through this.
Yeah,
because, and we texted about this when I was watching this movie. For some reason, in every black film these days, since 1998, I'd say, if there's a role for a black mother, Loretta Devine's agent is the first person casting directors call. Mm-hmm. And lately, I would say the past 5-6 years, every black mom role Loretta Devine has played, and mind you, she's one of the greatest. She's one of the greatest black female actresses ever because of her filmography alone. But the past 5-6 years, she has been playing these moms as if they're fucking nuts. Like they should be in a home somewhere. Yeah, is not what she is not well. No, I don't know if that's her, the character choices, or if they just can't direct her anymore. I don't know what's going on.
She is just like, every single one of my characters have a brain injury.
It's so wild, dude. Like Tatiana, even when Loretta Devine started speaking, Tatiana, like she was sleeping. She woke up and she raised the eyebrow. She's like, why is she acting like this? Yeah. And that's not the first time she's acted like that recently. She was in that fucking Marcus Houston movie where she was fucking crazy. Like, what's going on, like, Loretta?
I don't know, baby. I just don't get it. Yeah, it's very almost like Stepford's Wives, but black mama version of it.
I can see that.
And it's weird. It's weird.
Oh yeah.
It's really just like has Loretta Devine been replaced by a robot? You know,
that use ChatGPT to figure out how's a black woman acting sound.
Yes, it's just like she almost speaks like she's AI. She's AI, and she's trying to learn how human women speak. It's very off-putting. It's very off-putting to watch Loretta Devine act these days.
It is. And I wrote down in my notes, I said Loretta Devine is the Samuel Jackson of black mothers in Hollywood. she does not say no. If you offer her a black, I'm sure Justin.
Hold on. No. You can't put that on Sam because Sam has been in a lot of good things. She is the Nick Cage of black mothers in Hollywood because she says yes to things was like, for real.
Yeah, but so is Sam though. Sam is just a little bit more low key because Sam will pop in. He'll do like random cameos and shit that you wouldn't expect him to be in. Nick Cage like headline stuff.
Yeah, fair. But
Loretta Devine, she didn't really. I mean, she became a bigger role in this movie. I didn't understand. I didn't know what this movie was going to be, and even halfway through, I was like, "What is this movie? What's the focus of this? Is this to help her like come to terms with her past, with her self-image and self-confidence. And then it became about the mom and daughter dynamic. I was like, I've seen this shit already in that movie Brave. It's just around black woman. What's going on here? And then we have Kel Mitchell, who is dressed like a black leprechaun.
Yep.
He's supposed to be an elf from Christmas land or whatever the fuck. And if he doesn't do this job right, he's going to get sent to work for the Tooth Fairy, who apparently is this like raging goblin white woman
with teeth embedded into her skin on
Yeah.
one side of her face.
Which for me, I was like, how would a monster like that have the currency to be able to afford to be the Tooth Fairy?
Yeah. It's like also, what would you do if you're working for the Tooth Fairy?
I guess you going around stealing them teeth, or you doing something weird with them teeth.
It's weird.
It ain't good.
But can I just, Brandon? Can I just say that Kel Mitchell has the wig that Mekhi Phifer wishes he had in 8 Mile? Because that dreadlock look, I was just like, actually, no, it's not a bad wig, but it's not good. But it's not bad, but it's like it's better than the mop that they put on Mekhi Phifer's head in the 8 Mile.
Yeah, I will say after watching this movie, and folks, our Good Burger 2 episode is on Patreon, so definitely go over and check that out. I think you might be surprised at Justin's take on the movie. But we talked ad nauseum about Kel Mitchell's makeup in that movie.
Yeah.
And there is a theory that it's potentially because he's had a beard for so long that this coloration was too much. And so that's why they caked on makeup for him. And I think this movie proved that there's truth to that theory, because when you see his beard, it is like dark. It's
he's a grown ass man.
Yeah, but it's also like, if you shave frequently enough, like the discoloration isn't always there, but like it's clear like he's had a beard for a long time. Yeah. So it looked, I was like, oh yeah, if he were to shave that, he's gonna have like a dark line pretty much. Like you can't mask that except by caking on a bunch of makeup on him.
Yeah. Well, maybe
which is so weird. Why wouldn't you just let Ed have a beard? It would actually fit his character way better if he just was deranged and grew out his beard a la Howard Hughes.
Yeah, but you know what? They're trying to recapture the same magic, and they want them to look somewhat similar. I mean, because Kenan Thompson has a beard.
Yeah, he shaved that, and that's why he had all those ingrown bumps. Because he did not use Bevel.
This podcast nor this episode is sponsored by Bevel. Until they sponsor Bevel, I don't care about.
Why would Bevel sponsor Bevel?
No, until this podcast is sponsored by Bevel.
I know, but you just messed up your words. I'm just
whatever.
I mean, you're talking like Gabrier's character, who's supposed to be a lush, apparently. Even though I did write down my notes. Has she ever been drunk before? Because the way that she's acting drunk, it reminds me of somebody who's never been drunk, who's supposed to act like they're wasted.
Fair.
Like when she goes up to those girls and she's like, "Hey y'all, y'all believe in Santa and the holidays?" I was like, you ain't never had a drink in your life, girl. I'm sure she has, but I'm just like, this ain't how drunk people work. And it's not like they were holding back, because she was drinking a lot of this movie. So it's not like they were like, oh, we're just trying to like touch on that she's like hammering in the scene. But no, she's drinking. She literally wishes in her little fucking wish list thing for nonstop, what are the Nog martinis, which is goddamn disgusting.
Nagarini.
Oh, no, they said Nagatini at one point.
Nagatini, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just was like, she going to be farting everywhere she go. And they just like, they're not even bringing like small cups, they're bringing like big ass glasses full of this
goblets.
Yeah, it's like, and let's be real, y'all, eggnog looks like cum. And so we just see half the movie, she's just drinking cum in a glass. And I'm just like, what is going on? Who wrote this?
I was not prepared for that.
Eggnog is disgusting to me. I can barely drink coquito, like, just because I think substance, I don't know, I just don't really do well with like thick milky substances and stuff. But yeah, like eggnog. I know that's a pause, but
go on, Brandon.
but bro,
the amount going down my throat.
First off, the amount that she and Loretta Devine were drinking of this shit was disgusting. Also, the way that white boy gave her that egg teeny or not teeny or whatever the fuck, I was like, he definitely jizzed in that thing. And also, she was like a drunk. There was like some elements of like leaving Las Vegas in this shit. The way she was drinking, she was mixing the drinks, teenies, wine, drinking straight from the bottle in several scenes.
Well, she's good. She's going through some stuff, man. She's trying. She
got a great
wants,
apartment.
Yeah.
She's estranged from her mom, who bothers the fuck out of her.
Yeah, well, I mean, but that's a lot. That's hard, man. It's hard not being, not having ties to your family because they kind of suck.
Don't I know? Don't I know, Justin? Yeah, I just wrote down. I'm like, first of all, she works as a producer for a radio station.
Yeah,
for a radio DJ. And I wrote down, do radio DJs even make money anymore? Like for real? What's the average salary? Lluvia, can you look up what's the average salary for a radio DJ in 2022? Because that's when this movie was filmed.
Probably about 50, 60.
And this is in New York City, so it's got to be in the higher end.
But was this in New York City?
Was it? I thought it was. Is it not?
I'm not sure.
It seemed like a city.
I mean, listen, it's hard to, there is no wiki for this.
No, there's no
there's no Wikipedia.
Lluvia found like a blog about Lifetime movies to help us break this down.
Oh boy.
And even then, it doesn't make this even clearer. Like, this movie was insane. I mean, the fact that Santa Claus is positive. Okay, Lluvia says on Glassdoor, it says 75 to 105K. Okay, that's not terrible.
Yeah,
that's not terrible.
That's that.
Yeah, if you're in a higher end of that as a single woman, you could make it work.
Now, mind you, Brandon, they're only working about 4 hours a week. I mean, 4 hours a day. 4 hours a day.
We're talking about. Oh, Lluvia said I read it wrong. It could be 57,000 to 105K. That makes sense. If you're breaking into radio, I'm sure you're like on the low end. Yeah, and shit. Yeah, but
57,000 isn't necessarily bad for you. You're working 4 hours a day. I'm sorry, 4 hours a day, because typically, like, they have their blocks.
Yeah, that's
like
you're
host. Not. Yeah, I mean, like, you're not on there. You're not sitting there for 8 hours.
Yeah, but I mean, that's got a high stress situation though, depending on what the format of your show is. If you're just like kind of talking and stuff, like, that could be risky with all the different like regulations you got to follow and shit, so you don't get fined.
No, yeah,
that could be tough. That'd be tough. But I mean, you can do other things when you do it, but sometimes it contractually obligates to not be able to do other stuff. I remember a friend of the show, Dan Soder, talked about that. That's the reason why his show with the Bonfire took so long to get off the ground with Big J Okerson, because essentially, like, I guess at the time Comedy Central was running the show, the radio station or whatever, and they were essentially trying to lock him in. And so his manager was like, do you just want to do radio for the rest of your life? Because they're restricting you on a lot of things. But if you have the flexibility, yeah, it's a great gig. Yeah. Like, if you're able to do radio and then tour or do other shit. Yeah, like, I'm sure like Jim Norton comes to mind when I think about like someone who does the morning show. I think it's to perform on the road and whenever they want in the city. And then like, that's a good gig. If that's what you love to do, that's a pretty dope gig. Not many black artists get to do that. I think Charlemagne, he has a lot of different things going on.
Steve Harvey, maybe.
With Steve Harvey. Yeah, I mean, but he's also I feel like Steve Harvey, I feel like, everything that's been popping up with like the shady shit that like artists and celebrities have been doing with like, women and creepy shit. I feel like he just has enough money where he was able to dead that real quick. That's me just speculating, but
that's the thing. Like, it's weird.
I feel like some people have money that they were able to like quiet that shit real quick before the deadline.
True.
So they were in the news.
I don't think there's necessarily that kind of stuff about Steve, but I think that like Steve Harvey is just probably a shady character. He's done some shady things to get where he is.
I mean, he used to have kids dancing in his warehouse back in the day,
Shut up.
He's not a good man.
Now, y'all boys need to come together.
Such a crazy.
He's talking about that fucking B2K movie.
He had the fucking hat.
Now, y'all boys need to stop this and come together. This is all about a boy who died because he was dancing.
Little Sim, we never even saw the little nigga dance. Anyways, well, my mind's all fucked up now. I don't know where we got.
You're all over the place.
I don't know how we got because I don't want to talk about this goddamn movie. Yeah, we were talking about radio.
So
because she's an aspiring radio host. She wants to be a radio personality.
So really quick, I was listening to Ed Lover talk about jumping on like Yo MTV, when they did Yo MTV Raps and things like that.
Oh yeah.
And I think it was on Drink Champs. I forgot what show it was on. But he's talking about like how they were getting paid like $30,000, something like that. Yeah. Like trash money. And then their manager went and negotiated, and like so they still had like a normal job, and they're working a normal job and then doing the radio as well. And then all of a sudden, that manager goes in and negotiates because it's like, yo, you guys are like building rap right now, like building the culture. It's like, because this is the only show, because that's when MTV wasn't playing black music, at the time. Especially they weren't playing hip hop. They weren't playing hip hop. There was only pop stuff. He was just like, overnight, I went from making nothing and having like a job, a normal job to support myself, and this was just like a side gig, to making like, $200,000 a piece.
Yes, like the Bodega Boys. They went from doing their podcast to getting the show on Showtime, and then they ended up hating each other.
Yeah, man, yep. I'd love to hate you. I'd love to be that be our problem.
I mean, that's the unfortunate thing about a lot of these partnerships, is that eventually, like, they do split up. Hopefully, like, it's on amicable terms. Outkast, like, from my understanding is that they split up at a time when they were frustrated with each other, but they never hated each other, and that's why they're still promoting each other. They still hang out and stuff. It's just that
it also seems like it was like somebody kind of got between them. Like the management was, one guy kind of sided with management, the other guy didn't, but also the management was like closer to somebody than the other person. So it was like a choose size thing, and it's just like, well, I don't need this,
Got it.
Which is tough.
Yeah, just give us one more album, y'all. I don't know. I don't know if it would be worth it. I say that, and then I'm like, we get it, and then we're like, oh no.
Wait, who are you talking about?
Outkast.
Oh, you're talking about Outkast? I'm talking about the Bodega.
Oh. I was like, I didn't hear anything about management, but maybe sure.
Wait a second.
Lluvia in the chat said Andre 3000 is coming out with a new album. Lluvia, you were 2 weeks too late on this.
Yeah, come on.
At the time of this recording, and it's a flute album. It's not even really an album. It's like an elevator music. It's fine. It's fine.
Did you hear that Lupe Fiasco said that he was gonna rap over it?
We don't need Lupe anymore. Like Lupe, ever since he said Obama was a terrorist and started saying some really wild like conspiracy shit, I don't listen to Lupe. He sometimes puts out a banger, but like I can't listen to a whole thing of that dude anymore.
Yeah, I mean, he did some good things with some of these instrumentals. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some great classic albums. It's just that he went down the deep end about some stuff, and so and that's the problem. Is like it's I think it's getting tougher now to separate the artist from the art. Because the more you learn about the heinous things that people say and do, you're like, oh no. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's tough. It's like, all right, well. So Andre 3000, like, I'm just glad he's making music again. I don't care that it's a flute. I mean, I wish there's some drums or like a few flows, but it's okay. I mean, his first song is titled, I think, I really wanted to make a rap album, but this is what came out or something like that. So I'm like, okay.
He's like, I'm 50.
I mean, I remember when the Love Below came out, and I remember being like, the fuck, nigga? What is this?
No, I love the Love Below album.
Oh, it grew on me. That's the thing. It's like, if you give me like basically like hip hop or rap straight through your albums, and then you come up with some really wild shit. Like I remember when I first heard Ye's 808s and Heartbreak, and I was like, the fuck is this? And then I finally listened from a producer standpoint, and like the 808 drums and like the way he brought in some samples and instrumentals. I was like, okay, now I can This isn't his best
Nigga,
thing
you don't have to
lyrically.
listen as a producer. You can just be like, yo, this is different and this is dope.
Sometimes the
Like,
difference
I started
scares me,
thinking
man.
as a producer. Once I really just like drilled in as someone who's in the business. No, you're just a dude in your bedroom listening to Kanye West, who is a fantastic producer, make music. He's an artist and he made music. He's just like, oh, okay, now I kind of get this. This is really dope. It's like, as I started listening to it under, on a different wavelength, I'll punch you in the face when I was sitting next to you.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
As I said, listen as a producer.
All right.
I'm gonna have to make that. Just gonna start making that. I got to make my own soundboard of Brandon's bullshit.
Just Brandonisms. Did we ever talk about it on the podcast? Folks, we're trying to talk about anything but this fucking movie. If you haven't noticed, because it took me so long to try to track this movie down that I don't want to talk about it. I'm so mad about it. But Lluvia asked who put it on the list. I'm pretty sure Justin put it on the list.
No, I did not.
You put this on the list. No one else knows about this fucking movie.
Brandon. It has Kel Mitchell in it.
I put Dance Fu on this shit list. I put Dance Fu on the list. That's the only other Kel Mitchell non-Good Burger movie
Brandon,
I've ever put.
Brandon, I know you put because
I did not put this on the list
because you probably put this on the list because you were just like, oh, Justin is going to hate this. Justin's gonna hate this. Kel Mitchell's in it. He's probably gonna give us some like Good Burger thing, and you thought this would be funny. You thought this would be torture for me, and it ended up being more torture for you. I'm not saying it is good, but I'm saying that like you thought that you'd enjoy this and you'd see me crumble in front of your very own eyes. Because at that point, you were looking at it from a producer standpoint, and this would be really good for an episode.
I hate you so much. I fuck you guys
in the chat. As a producer, I think
God damn it. All right. Real quick before, okay, so what I was gonna ask is that man, now you fucked me up. I was gonna do a story. Anyways, was Kel trying to fuck Loretta Devine when he was getting her drunk? I felt like his character was trying to fuck her, right?
He was definitely trying to fuck
he was trying to fuck somebody,
Jessica
right?
Lynch.
he was horny the whole movie, right?
Yeah.
Like when he was dancing with the old white lady, I was like, oh, so that's who's gonna fuck now? I was like, Kel's just over here kind of cooning it up.
No, I'm sorry. No, not Jessica Lynch. This girl, Karen Knox, the best friend. He was definitely trying to get on. Oh, no, she was trying to get on him. He's like, my elf pheromones. I'm just like, what is this?
Yep. Yeah, that got weird. Also, it was weird that she was like, that Emily was like, we're friends, but bitch, you gotta answer for what you did to me as kids. And it was like, and she's like, but we were kids. And she's like, but I kind of like you, but I don't. I was like, this is so weird. But I guess like that's kind of how friendship works sometimes. Yeah. Especially when you like reconnect with someone from your childhood that maybe did some foul shit to you.
Yeah.
I remember my friend Billy and I, we were on the outs for a long time. Like, and we grew up together because when I was in high school, I was in a dark place in my life. And he said I was as entertaining as a stump. And I was like, oh, okay, nigga. And then I moved to New York and like I have the most entertaining life out of all of his friends. And he's like, man, my bad.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, but you never know. Maybe like that comment is what spurred me to be like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
True.
Because a lot of those people do not leave that town. And now they're just hanging out.
Wasting away. Hanging out.
Well, I mean, some people found their way. Some people are doing things that they like to do and stuff. But there are a few people that I grew up with that are like struggling. Townies. Not even townies, because I feel like townies is like you're proud of where you came from and like you have like a certain pride. I'm talking about the people that like don't have that pride and who are like miserable.
No, but that's also a townie.
Yeah, I guess.
You know what I'm saying? You can still be a good person. You could be a happy townie. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, you just like, basically a townie is just somebody who's just resigned. Is like, I grew up here, I stay here, and like, they just stay in their lane because it's comfortable. And listen, there's nothing wrong with that. But I know it's like a thing that people frown upon, but it's like not everybody, has to move away and do something big. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
It is what it is. That's what I
Everybody,
always used to say.
that's their path. So Brandon, I know you're a man of the white women. So what do you think about her friend, Miss Karen Knox? You think she was a cutie pie?
No, no.
Weren't it?
I
It wasn't
was
into her.
I wasn't into the friend at all. I was and like they kept like zooming in on her like she's a baddie. I mean, actually I'm looking up pictures of her. She looked way better. Like maybe they fucked up with the
Normal.
makeup or like the cinematography or the way they lit her, but yeah, in this movie I did not think she was attractive at all.
Yeah.
Um and even I think that it was a lot with the lighting and the way that it was filmed. But I will say like Gabby's got a really beautiful smile, man. She was very charming when they allowed her just to be happy and not screaming all the time.
Listen, it's
Oh shit, she looks like my ex girlfriend,
who?
Karen Knox, in this one photo.
No.
Anyways,
There's one photo. She kind of looked like this girl I met in Philadelphia.
oh god, did we both fuck up with the same chick?
Oh, she's from Philly?
No, but she could have moved to Philly for all I fucking know. I don't know.
I mean, if she did, I'm sorry, Brandon. I'm sorry.
Well, it would have been Michigan, so then she would have moved to Philly after that. So you would have.
So I had the
So
second.
yeah, I would be saying I'm sorry.
No, I know. I'm sorry for you.
Oh,
I'm sorry for you because when it really comes down to it, after me, you don't exist anymore.
all right,
I'm the
buddy.
black that she dreams about.
All right, man. You would nasty. Like I don't want to discuss want to be like that. If you're, yeah.
To be Eskimo brothers with me, now you
Oh
don't.
god, yeah, exactly. You be eating ass, you be having your ass eaten probably, and you be blowing up bathrooms. It's just not a good situation.
I remember one time I hooked up with this girl, and like I had the shit, and I was just like, hold on,
You always have to shit.
and
I've never met any guy. I've never met any person that's had the shit and has explosive shits the way that you do.
bro, I took the biggest nasty.
So you took a shit. You took a Justin shit because that's what happens. Every time you do a shit story, it's never just like, hey, I took a shit and then I moved on in my life. It's always like, this was a traumatic experience for somebody.
I filled that. I'm not even gonna call it a toilet, a commode. I'm gonna say like an old black, that commode. It was bad. It was bad. I went out there and I did it again. So okay, wash up. Better performance this time. I don't have to worry about my guts.
Oh my god. All right. Well, oh boy.
You're welcome, Lluvia. Lluvia in the chat said, I have heard so many stories of Justin pooping his pants than anybody else in my life. First of all, I haven't pooped my pants a bunch of times, but I do have a lot of shit stories because sometimes a man's gotta go. And you gotta go. And I am not afraid to
I
tell
think you need to see a
people
doctor, man.
No, I'm actually very regular. That's actually good for you. You gotta get that stuff out of you. You don't want to be backed up.
Okay, well, speaking of assholes, she starts off her letter to Santa, or whoever the Holy Spirit of Christmas is, by saying, "Dear ugly asshole," and she asks for a bunch of shit to happen, which results in her waking up in this kind of alternate universe, a la "It's a Wonderful Life" a little bit. And she's, she finds out that her rival, who got the host job over her, was crushed to death and shit. She's stealing newspapers because she's basically like, "This is my best friend. Can I get this for free? Bye." And then she runs off.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that's theft. And then she starts to reconcile with her crazy ass mom, who, by the way, that character is off her rocker because she has 3 Christmas trees in her house.
Yep.
That's insane.
Yeah, I'm gonna win the big Christmas tree celebration this year, and oh, it's gonna be amazing. Yo, she really sound like she needed to be wearing slippers for the rest of her life, if you know what I mean. Put some Crocs on this chick and put her in a padded room. There was something so off about Loretta Devine in this film, man. I could not get
It was
along with
kind of
it.
sinister because the way that Loretta Devine smiles, it always makes you think there's something nefarious going on under
It,
the surface of her characters.
and
It's
oh man,
unsettling. It's unsettling.
and she has dead eyes. I don't know what she grew into these like just dead eyes. She's just like she just says things and her eyes just don't react to anything. I'm just like, what's going on with this woman?
I
Like
mean,
if she was my mother, I would be afraid. I'd be like,
oh
Ma,
yeah, for sure.
Ma,
For
you
sure.
know, we're gonna still go start shopping for homes. And her and the dude playing her father, Mr. Ewan Clark. Oh, that guy looks like he would be an enforcer and a black enforcer
Yeah.
in like a movie from like a movie like kind of Renaissance age or something like middle ages, something like that. But he'd be like the one black guy and a big old black guy who's like maybe he's an executioner and he cuts people's dicks off or something like that. He just there's something very nefarious about his face because it's the eyebrows, I think.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of sinister shit at work at this movie. I mean, I don't know if that was her father or stepfather, whoever the fuck was with Loretta Devine, but there were scenes where he would walk past them and just cackle evilly. No context.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know if it's because the actor didn't have any lines, so he was just like, let me just make sure I'm in the cut. Like, I don't know what the fuck was going on, but I wrote that down twice. I was like, why does he keep cackling?
You're not cutting me out of this one. They gonna know I'm here.
I recently read oh, it was I think this is this Marvel book I'm reading. Oh, it was Mickey Rourke in Iron Man 2. Apparently, he would do shit like eating or something like that in his scenes that they filmed for him as a Whiplash purposely so they could not cut around him. Like he would do certain things in the scenes that he would film were like continuity wise, they couldn't cut around him if they didn't like what he was doing. So like to ensure that he had certain amount of screen time, he like that's some pretty crazy shit.
Hey man, you gotta get it any way you can. Yeah, you
I
gotta get that
guess.
check. You gotta get that check. I mean, he's also dealing with like Marvel. I mean, but at that time, Marvel wasn't is what Marvel is now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, yeah, like listen, man, I get it, and if that's the case, yo, is that's how you gotta get the studios? Get the studios.
I mean, they didn't invite him back. I mean, he was a villain, so he died. But
Yeah,
you know, that's but you know, that's back when he had a comeback, and you don't want to burn bridges like that. But whatever, it's his career.
that was a crazy performance.
Yeah, I mean, Mickey Rourke is just fucking nuts. We should do the wrestler though, if we haven't done it already.
Yeah,
I think we did actually, but I can't remember. But we should do old Mickey Rourke. Do you remember like old Mickey Rourke in the '80s, dude? Have you ever seen those movies? Like when he was like in was a diner and other shit. Like he was a good looking
like,
guy.
yeah. It was a good looking guy.
Holy
but you want to know why?
fuck.
Because he wanted to be a boxer.
Yeah.
And he started boxing, and they started punching his face in. And then next thing you know, he looks like a fucking a chewed up piece of bubble gum in the face.
Yeah. It's interesting because I remember seeing The Wrestler, and then I think it was my mom who was like, "Oh yeah, like Mickey Rourke used to be like the guy. Like he used to be incredibly like attractive back in the '80s." And I was like, "What?" And then I remember seeing Diner because I really liked that was like the white guy trifecta, like quartet at the time. It was like how Dean Stern, Paul, what's his name from Mad About You, Paul Reiser, Kevin Bacon, and Mickey Rourke. And I remember like being like, "Oh yeah, he's a good looking dude."
Yeah. But that's the thing. Is like people that excuse me. People talk shit about boxers. Like, oh, those guys was like, yeah, but you don't understand like the abuse that those guys take. Like you gotta respect them motherfuckers. And Mickey Rourke, he didn't respect it obviously, and he went out there and wanted to fucking play badass, and they punched his fucking face off, and now he looks like a fucking housewife. He looks rough.
Woo! Going my housewife. Okay, let's get back to this fucking crazy movie. Speaking of white boys, she wishes that she has like a suitor or someone that's obsessed with her, and ends up
Yeah.
being the white guy that she had a crush on, who I guess they went to school with as well. And he sends her a lock of his hair and shit, and keeps trying to shove those thick ass noctinis down her throat. And I was just like, there's just something so fucking creepy about this shit. This
Mhm.
entire movie is nuts.
Oh yeah, it's out of control.
I don't understand why you texted me and said it's not that bad.
No, 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 no. I wasn't talking about this.
What are we talking about?
No, I was talking about the app that I was telling you about.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the movie when you're like, it's actually not that
No,
bad.
no. You know what's funny? When I texted that to you, in my mind, it was like, I hope he doesn't think I was talking about this
Yeah.
movie.
I thought you were talking about this movie.
No,
I
I
was
was
watching this movie furious. I'm like, the fuck is Justin talking about?
no, I was talking about the app that I was telling you about.
Yeah, that's not what I read. So
Yeah,
I'm glad we clarified that at least.
yeah. Because I would never say that this movie is not that bad. This is bad. This is bad. Paula was so mad that she was just like, "Oh, you're watching a Christmas movie." She was just like, she was so mad because Paula loves Christmas. She
Yeah, she
loves
grew up with
Christmas.
fucking reindeer and the little elves and the gingerbread houses and the Daka Shane and shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
she
I mean
grew
they
up.
literally have a Santa Claus, the
Yeah,
North Pole village in Finland.
yeah, they got nigger kisses and everything.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do.
That's so fucking wild.
It is. It is.
What
Hey, listen.
have you been
When it
offered one of
came
those
out,
yet?
oh, I've had one.
But have you been like has anyone said it to you? Like a
No,
nigga
no,
kiss?
no, 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 no. They changed that a while ago. They changed
Oh,
that a while ago.
so what's it
Uh,
called? A Negro
I don't
kiss?
I don't know. It's so
A
for people
blackie?
in the chat. It's basically um it's it's a chocolate covered like marshmallow type of thing. It's actually pretty good. It's kind of like it's almost like a moon pie, but
Mm.
it's shaped like a little bell, right? And they're like individually wrapped, but in the box, the box is what really makes this wild. They have basically two African characters on it.
Yeah, you
Like,
said that. Yeah.
yeah, like dude got a drum under his, shirtless, like tribal, got a drum under his thing, and then you have, the other African character, which is a woman, bone through the nose, and then they're kissing, and like them kissing, that's the shape between their bodies that this thing is. Apparently it's a candy that came from Germany. It was just like, oh, okay, of course it came from Germany when you guys were rocking with the Nazis so they could help you beat the Russians during World War II. Actually, that's really what they did. And then once they got the Russians out of the country, they were just like, hey, Hitler, screw you, bro. We're turning on you. And then Hitler burnt all of north of Finland, scorched earth that stuff, because he was trying to come around the strait, to come around the Allies. There you go, a little history lesson in medium popcorn. Boom.
Well, that's what we try to do. We try to like educate you while also making you pee your pants because you laugh so hard.
Mm-hmm. Or shit your pants because shitting is good for you.
No, man. What is shitting is the great
is great.
equalizer. I will say that. Shitting, because everyone shits. So even the most attractive person, right? Like on my computer screen right now, I have an attractive woman in a G string. Her ass is popping on my second monitor, and I'm like, oh yeah, shit comes out that butt.
Yep. That butt ain't just for biting. It's for shitting too.
This is definitely going on Patreon. This is definitely a Patreon only episode. Jesus Christ.
You don't just bite it.
I was really unsettled when Gabby's character called Kel her elf. It sounded like her slave.
Yeah.
And the way he was dressed and looking all crazy like that.
Listen, if the white friend called her elf, that would be a little bit even worse. But I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
Also,
Kel
can we talk about
crazy.
Santa? Yeah, but can we talk about Santa basically having slaves? Because that's what elves are, right?
Technically.
They don't get paid.
Well, even worse than that. So Santa has the worst kind of slave. He has child slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
And
That's tough.
it's diverse too. So it's like, where the fuck are you getting these
He's
kids?
pulling them. He's pulling them from different houses. That he goes. It's like, oh, your mommy and daddy don't pay attention to you. You want to come with me? Building tours.
Oh wow, that's actually interesting.
Yeah.
Because you need to find like, hey, nigga, where do all these people come from?
Yeah. That it would be wild if Santa is basically the biggest network of human trafficking, but it's not anything sexual. It's just he's turning them into elves. And like once you get to the North Pole, you don't age.
Mm,
So you
yeah.
stay your height, stuff like that. And then like once you leave the North, like do you accelerate age the age that you're supposed to be?
Well, also here's my question too to that. If it's human trafficking and like, how the fuck did they develop the elves? Is it like a Pinocchio situation where they make you drink like the eggnog and you start forming like certain physical ability, like things that make you elfish?
No, no, no. Once he gets you up there, it's like that region. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like he takes kids, but he keeps them. It's like it slows down the aging process, so they never age.
Yeah, but why would they have pointed ears and shit and like the
What's
curled
that?
toes and stuff?
Maybe that's a part of it.
Yeah, that's creepy.
Well,
That
yeah.
transforming
Well,
the
no,
children.
hold on. They don't have to have curled toes, nigga. That's just the shoes that they're wearing.
I always figured that they had curls.
Wait, hold on. Wait, Brandon. I have to take off my headphones because I don't want to hear your fucking voice when I say this because I don't want to hear anything you got to say. You literally thought that elves have toes that curl, like one toe that just curls up into like a spiral. Is that what you thought an elf toe was, as
You never
opposed to just
know,
being
man. You never know.
nigga, you crazy, yo, yo, you crazier than a fish with titties. Like I don't know what's going on with you.
Yeah, anything's possible, man.
It's like, all right, I can see the thing about the ears. Like, yeah, but then they have, their toes. They curl up. Like, what? You think that Santa Claus makes elves bind their feet into a
shit? That's what makes it hard for them to run away.
they had to learn how to fly.
Actually, that would probably make it easier for them to sled around.
Brandon, that's so fucking crazy. That's so crazy.
I mean, there's a lot of crazy things that when it comes to Santa Claus and elves, and especially in this movie with like black characters dealing with this magical element, and then niggas. I mean, again, the Nog Teeny thing is so fucking gross. Every 5 minutes, she's getting offered a glass of cum, and I did not like it. Do you know how fucked up your stomach is? We black people,
I've never had eggnog.
Most of us cannot tolerate dairy.
Yeah, not too much.
Now, eggnog does have dairy in it, right? I don't want to just like be pulling this out my ass.
I mean, if it's made out of eggs, of course it does.
Yeah. Okay.
Eggs is
cool.
Dairy.
Well, is it? Because eggs come from chickens.
Yeah, but it's considered dairy.
Interesting. Okay. But yeah, so then she is farting up a big storm, and remember, Gabby's a big woman, so she got a lot of stuff to push out. So it's gonna be a.
I just want to let it be known that I did not bring up Gary. What's her last name? I'm sorry.
Super Day.
Siberney. I never brought up her weight this entire episode, and it was
well, yeah, because you got to redeem yourself from that perfect holiday episode.
What are you talking about?
Well, you went on a Queen Latifah.
Bro,
we had people drop the show because of that.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
No, I'm just saying, like, when we can't be crazy. Like, if you were any size and your body does not take well to dairy and all you do is consume dairy, first of all, you're going to be bloated as a motherfucker. Second of all, your asshole is going to be turned inside out.
Hold on.
That's the new Pixar sequel.
Let me clarify. Because I did look it up because I really wasn't sure. Eggs are often mistakenly categorized as dairy. Eggs are not a dairy product, so it's not a
Okay.
dairy product.
But Uvia in
So
the chat said it's milk and cream, so it's just as bad.
yeah,
And you mix that with alcohol the way she was
yeah,
drinking.
yeah.
Come on, there's a lot of health flags in here.
So
Okay,
hold on, if you have a dairy-free diet, if you have lactose intolerance, you can technically have eggs. Just don't put a milk or cream in it, which does make your egg taste that much better. Because I like to put like a little milk in my scrambled eggs, and it accentuates it, takes it to the next level. Just saying.
Yeah, I'm not taking any food advice from you because you be shitting on the walls and shit. How do I do with this?
Brandon, you should. I'm a phenomenal cook. And there's no jokes about that. The joke is that I'm real. I'm real with mines with that spatula, baby.
Yeah, but I don't want to get gross. We're already gross. We already talked about shit. We already talked about a lot of stuff. But okay, what was the point of this movie?
I don't know. I don't know, to make us suffer.
Because it got really serious with her confronting Loretta Devine about the way her mom treats her. I mean, to be fair, I've seen this all the time with like the older generation, especially with women constantly commenting on their bodies, commenting on their bodies, commenting on their life situation, especially if they're still single. And the older generation just refusal to be self-reflective at all.
Yeah.
And so when they get called out to like clutching their pearls the way Loretta Devine did, like, oh my word, all I did was do my best that I could do. It's like, well, sometimes the best ain't good. Because you think about it, it's kind of crazy. When you think about the way that we all come in this earth, right? It's because our parents fucked and we got made, right? And now all that's done with good intentions. So you have people out in this world that are here and they don't have the love and support that they need, or the people that they were born to aren't equipped to give them the resources and the love and attention that they need and the positivity that they need because they're also broken. So it's like it sucks, especially because obviously I've been going through a lot of stuff this year and I've talked about it a little bit on the podcast, but it sucks to be in therapy and working on yourself and trying to improve yourself. And then you're like, you understand how certain things are triggering you. And so you try to be like, hey, these things bother me. But in order for this to be a productive conversation, you also have to be willing to better yourself. And if you're not doing that work, then it's like you're just talking to a wall, which then makes it even more fun. It's just crazy.
Yep. Life ain't easy, buddy.
No, man. That's why you be on. That's you end up on a podcast talking about booty holes and shitting all the
time. That's why you guys got to take the bad energy, convert it into shit, and expel it out of your body. That's what I do. Look how healthy I am.
All right. I hated the ending of this movie. It didn't make any sense. It's like, oh, like she's like, I'm happy now because I confronted all my issues. And it's like, that's it. That's what you need to do. So is this about empowerment? Like, what is this movie about?
Yeah, because I mean, all her basically her issue was she didn't speak up for herself. That was the main thing. It was.
Yeah.
And she let people walk all over, or she wasn't boisterous in the things that she in her wants and needs. That was mainly. It's just like, hey, it's basically just like, hey, say something. Not if you see something, it's like just say something.
Say something.
It didn't need a song, but like, yeah, the movie was all about just, hey, maybe you should speak up so people don't walk all over you.
Yeah, maybe, but one person on Patreon did speak of about All I Didn't Want for Christmas. And remember, folks, when you sign up at Patreon at patreon.com/mediapopcorn, you get your thoughts and reviews of that film read on our upcoming episode. And because they're already on Patreon, you should know about this. So be sure to comment on future episodes if you haven't. Tiffany Payne wrote, I found this movie amusing. The Silk Sonic line took me out. I don't even know what line she's talking about because half this movie, I was just trying to remind myself, it's for the podcast. It's for the podcast. It's for the fans. It's for the fans.
Oh, that's when Kel Mitchell, changes his outfit and he has the hair coming down and whatnot.
Oh,
and he's wearing the little green hat and shit.
Oh, when he looked like the Black Riddler?
No, where he looks like a dreaded up Cat Williams.
Okay. He looked like a lot of different Black characters. At one point, I think I wrote down, I was going to write down that he looked like Ice-T's character from Leprechaun the Hood. Like he just looked crazy. That's all. Like that's the biggest point of this. And then Lluvia did find, because she didn't find any trivia, well, for obvious reasons. She found IMDb review that she thought would be worth reading on the show from Living Color Red Duct Tape. And they wrote, what a wonderful surprise. I didn't expect much from this movie, but was happily surprised. Great story with great actors. A true happy Christmas movie. I love the fact that the main character wasn't the beautiful standard according to society. It was less distracting and really let her light shine. Loretta Devine was just wonderful in this role. But who are we kidding? She always is. Heartwarming and realistic. Well, as far as real people in the real world goes, I laughed, I awed, I danced, and my heart was happy. I recommend this to anyone who wants a fresh take on the typical Christmas movies out there. 8 out of 10 stars. See,
this person saw every single one of Tyler Perry plays on the Chitlin Circuit. They danced. Where did you dance?
Well, yeah, that's a crazy thing. But I thought that this was how you felt based on your text. I thought you were gonna come up with this kind of energy, like, "Hey, man, it was actually kind of fun, you know, black girl magic." I thought you were gonna be like, I was very confused when you sent me that text.
So obviously, you thought I was on coke last night.
I mean, I didn't know what was going on.
Like, hey, man, I think Justin's having a medical emergency. He said this movie was good.
I mean, to each his own, you know, like there's been stuff that I've liked that you hate and vice versa. So, you know, I just didn't know. Maybe you were in the right mood. You know, for someone that took down Paddington 2, I would be surprised if you gave this a popcorn, but what the fuck do I know? Speaking of which, Justin, break down our rating system, baby.
So, guys, you know how we do it. We rate movies back to popcorn, small, medium, large, and the XL for the exceptional. If a film doesn't deserve any popcorn, we throw it into the dog shit pile. We pile piles and piles of dog shit on top of it. So, Brandon, we watched the 2022 film All I Didn't Want for Christmas, starring Gabrielle Sibley and Kel Mitchell and Loretta Devine, and everybody else is inconsequential. Also, we didn't talk about Wyatt, the bartender boy or love interest guy.
Oh, God.
Terrible. It was terrible.
Terrible. I mean, that's the thing is like he was creepy. He was everywhere she was. So I was like, wait, is he actually the one that's supposed to be infatuated with her and not the white boy? Because they were both, I mean, but they're saying that he was organically like really into her, which is fine. But like he just, the way that actor portrayed it was incredibly creepy.
Yeah, it was a weird thing. So, and what say you, Brandon?
Yeah, this gets a pile of dog shit. Like just one, but it wasn't good. I was able to essentially like go to another place in my mind when I was watching this, and I'm still able to keep up with what was happening. There wasn't much there. And then it got incredibly serious for a second, and then would be slapstick silly and weird. It was kind of tonally all over the place, and I just didn't really enjoy it. Like I just had a real hard time with it. And it also made me like realize how challenging it must be for, you know, Kel Mitchell and Gabernay and other Black actors to really get a variety of things to do. And so I'm sure that this seemed like a fun little project that probably was only a few weeks out of their schedule to do, which is fine. But I just wish they got offered more
out of their schedule.
Yeah, I just wish she got offered like more, because she's an Oscar nominated actress that should not be in this. I'm just being honest. Like it's a fine, like it's fine for being BH1, and that's why I'm just giving it a pile of dog shit, but she should be getting way better roles than this. Justin, what about you?
Yeah, this is just dog shit. How many? It don't matter. It's dog shit.
Dog shit.
Wasn't a good movie. And the fact is this got stretched out because of, you know, you can only watch this with commercials.
Oh God,
this
yeah, that was
definitely wasn't it. And yeah, I mean, you could just miss this. It's just like you don't want to watch this. Like if all you wanted for this is definitely all you didn't want for Christmas. Like it lives up to the title.
Yep,
it's just mad. madness. But I mean, the story is kind of, it's kind of cookie cutter. But it's also just is like there wasn't any chemistry or anything in the cast. It's just a blah movie. Just forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
Forget about it. Forget about
it. Well, Patriots, we do this for y'all. We give this entertainment for y'all. We may not love the movie, but hopefully y'all had a few chuckles and a few yuckles. Got to learn more about Justin's body bowels, which is always
my body chemistry, my booty hole chemistry.
All right. Y'all know you can follow me at Frodo_Blackens on Threads and Instagram. That's where I'll be popping these days. And you can follow me as the producer of Medium Popcorn at youtube.com/Medium P Podcast. Push that subscribe button so you get alert about all future reviews and celebrity interviews that we hosted. And then, Justin, they're already on Patreon. So how can they follow you and support the show in other ways if they choose to do so?
So, guys, you can follow me at J Brown Diddy on all the socials. But if you want to support this show outside of just being a patriot, you can take yourself to tpublic.com/medium popcorn, get yourself a t-shirt, a jacket, a hoodie, or something. Also, leaving us a 5-star review or leaving us a voicemail, 347-508-0978.
Gang, gang. That's how you got to do it. And folks, we love you so much. We appreciate you. And as a producer, I really appreciate the feedback that y'all be posting on the Patreon and sharing the show. And if you're feeling really festive this season, we got an Amazon wish list. So just go over to mediumpopcorn.com or check out the post on the Patreon. And if you see anything that tickles your fancy that fits within your budget, send it all over. It helps out the show. Until
Merry
then,
Christmas and happy holiday.
Remember when I played that NSYNC song, You Lost Your Mind?
I
mean, but you're still singing it, aren't you?
No, because I just heard it in the car earlier today.
It's a beautiful song.
No, it's not. It's trash. Bye.